Welcome to the Deep Dive. We cut through the noise, get you informed fast. Today, we're tackling something really vital, building a lasting financial legacy for your family. We're drawing on insights from Jittal Mehta, featured in the Economic Times. Smart stuff. Our goal, to give you a clear, disciplined, practical approach to money. No heavy jargon, just what works. Let's get into it. So if building this legacy is the goal, Jittal Mehta offers a pretty clear path. And like any big project, maybe like building a skyscraper, it starts with a solid foundation, right? In finance, that foundation is, well, just consistently saving. Mehta suggests aiming for maybe 20-30% of your monthly income. Now, that might sound like a lot upfront, but the idea is to start where you are, even 5%, maybe 10%, then build up. It's not just about the money itself, it's about building that habit, that discipline.
Kind of setting an example, too.
Exactly. That discipline is the bedrock. But then you need a plan for what you do with those savings. Once you're saving consistently, the next step is strategy. That's where this three-bucket system comes in. Think of your savings not just as one pile of cash, but as tools in different buckets, each with a job.
Okay, 3 buckets. Makes sense. What's the first one?
Bucket 1 is your emergency reserve.
Yeah.
Your financial shield, basically. This one's non-negotiable. It's your first defense against, life's curveballs. The aim here is at least 6 months of essential living costs, essential costs.
6 months, okay.
And you'd put maybe around 5% of your income into this bucket until it's full. Keep it super liquid, savings account, maybe a low-risk money market thing, easy to get to.
So quick access for job loss, medical stuff, that kind of thing.
Precisely. It's peace of mind. Hopefully you never touch it, but it's there, ready.
Right. So bucket 1 secures the present. What about bucket 2? Planning ahead a bit more.
Yeah, that's bucket 2, short-term goals. This is for things on the horizon, but not immediate emergencies. You'd allocate, say, another 5% or so here. Think maybe near-term school fees, fixing up the house, a down payment on a car, maybe that family holiday you've been planning.
Okay, things you know are coming up in the next few years.
Exactly. And for these, things like debt mutual funds or fixed deposits might work well. You want stability, maybe a little growth, but definitely less risk than long-term investments. Safer, steadier.
Got it. Stable growth for near-term dreams. And then the really big picture stuff, the legacy.
That leads us to bucket 3, long-term wealth creation. This is your empire-building bucket, if you like. Here's where you put the rest, maybe 10% or ideally more. This is for the grand plans. Retirement, funding higher education years down the line, building real generational wealth.
And what kind of investments fit here?
This is where equities come in. Equity mutual funds are often suggested, maybe actively managed ones, or index funds tracking major markets like, say, the Nifty 100 or a mid-cap index. The idea is harnessing compounding over, decades. Planting seeds for a forest, as the analogy goes.
Planting seeds for a forest. I like that. But, having the buckets is one thing. Sticking to it when life throws bonuses or temptations your way, and that's another challenge, isn't it?
Absolutely. Discipline is key.
So what about rules? Does Mehta suggest some hard and fast rules to keep you on track, stop emotions messing things up?
Yes. Setting predefined rules is crucial. Like what happens with a windfall? A bonus, tax refund, maybe an inheritance?
Yeah, what's the rule there? Easy to just spend it, right?
The rule is at least half goes straight into your 3 buckets before you think about spending the rest.
Half. Okay, that's discipline.
It forces you to turn that temporary gain into something lasting. Avoids that sort of lifestyle inflation.
And withdrawing money. Are there rules for taking money out?
Definitely. Be really clear which bucket you tap. Bucket 1 is only for genuine emergencies.
Right.
Bucket 2 is for those planned short-term goals you saved for, and you really, really resist dipping into bucket 3, the long-term wealth, unless it's a major strategic life decision, not just an impulse.
Makes sense. Protect the long-term growth. What about riskier investments? People are always tempted by those.
There's a guardrail for that, too. Only even consider higher risk things if you're already consistently saving more than that 30% target.
So only if you've got the basics absolutely nailed down and then some.
Exactly. And even then, limit that high risk exposure no more than, say, 5% of your total investment portfolio. Keep it small.
So it's a structured approach, but does it stay the same forever?
Mm-hmm.
Or does the strategy need to, grow up as your finances do?
Oh, it absolutely evolves. Financial planning isn't a set it and forget it thing. There's a key milestone mentioned when your long-term investments reach about 5 times your annual expenses.
5 times annual spending. Okay, what happens then?
That's when you shift into what you might call the master strategist phase. Your focus starts to change. It means you move beyond just accumulation. You start thinking more about optimizing, about preservation, maybe more sophisticated asset allocation, diversification across different types of assets, not just equities.
Okay, so things get a bit more complex.
They can, yeah. Periodic rebalancing becomes more important, making sure your asset mix stays aligned with your goals. And honestly, at this stage, working with a trusted financial advisor can be really invaluable. They help navigate that increasing complexity and fine-tune the long-term vision.
Right. Bringing in professional help when things scale up. Okay, so let's quickly recap the blueprint for listeners. First, build that core saving habit. Aim for 20% or more. Start where you can, but be consistent. Second, organize it with the 3 buckets. Emergency, short-term goals, long-term wealth. Simple, clear purpose for each.
Right.
Third, set those ironclad rules. Half of windfalls get saved. Withdraw strategically. Be super cautious with high risk.
Crucial rules.
And finally, know when to evolve. That 5 times annual spending mark is your cue to shift into that master strategist mode, possibly with expert help.
Exactly. And it's important to remember, this whole framework, it's not just about the numbers on a spreadsheet. It's really about taking control of your financial story, making it purposeful. When you adopt this kind of structured approach, you're doing more than just securing your own future. You're actually modeling important values, discipline, planning ahead, responsibility. That's powerful stuff for the next generation.
It becomes part of the family culture.
It really does. You're building a legacy that's much richer than just the final account balance.
The legacy beyond the balance sheet. That's a great way to put it. So the final thought for you listening is this. How will you use this blueprint? Not just to secure your family's finances, but to build that deeper, lasting legacy Gerald Mehta talks about.